The liar in chief strikes again. Joe Biden's speechwriters have lost all contact with reality in the famed State of the Union address that was rendered recently. I doubt Joe has enough brain power left to do this on his own. This is Dr. David D. Shine for Saving America. Welcome. Well-known author Victor David Hanson called it the mess of an address and went on to say it was classic Biden: misinform, ignore, and attack. And that's from a very well-respected source, and I certainly agree with him. So he claims the economy is doing great. Inflation is at very high levels. Most Americans have lost a month's pay since he took office. The inflation rate was only 1.4% when he took office. Check the price of eggs, steak, and of course, wood for construction. A 30-year mortgage went from 2.7% when he took office to over 6% in the 2 short years that he's been in office. Right before he took office, I paid $1.65 a gallon for gasoline at my local Costco. Gas is now $3 a gallon at that same Costco. And in some parts of the United States, it's back to $5 a gallon. This is despite the fact that he did an extremely dangerous and stupid thing. He drained half of our strategic petroleum reserve. Now, folks, that is designed for emergencies like a war, like a massive disruption in supply chains. This is not designed for what he did use it for, which was to temporarily buy down the price of gasoline for the November 2022 elections. A shameful thing that he did. In addition, the price of natural gas has tripled in price. An incredible 5 million illegals have flooded into our country, causing a spike in fentanyl deaths, human trafficking, and human suffering. The number of deaths of persons trying to illegally enter the country has been stunning. While supporting Ukraine, much of our aid has come too late. If we went in, why did we go in late in providing critical parts of the aid that we've now lately committed to provide to Ukraine? In one bizarre deal, the United States recently promised over 30 tanks to Ukraine, top of the line tanks, and can't deliver them. They're not ready to go. They don't have them. This is just shameful. Again, a terrible administration continuing to do a terrible job. What about replacing the huge amounts of weaponry we have supplied from our own stockpiles? I do not see that happening, and that makes us even more exposed to incursions from China, like the recent balloon episodes. We're going to call Biden the balloon idiot. Then the blatant lie that Biden told about the GOP trying to shut down Social Security and Medicare. In fact, some research after his speech discovered that he has been recorded on the Senate floor proposing just such a thing. So he's not only a liar, he's a two-faced liar, doesn't even remember what the heck he said. As the national debt continues to climb, Joe made an incredible assertion that he's actually lowered the debt by $1.7 trillion. This incredible and totally false statement belies the fact that the national debt has increased $4.1 trillion since he took office. Yeah, Joe, what do you say about that? He jumped on the oil companies for not making further investments in oil production, but his administration has spent 2 years destroying the oil industry. If you were a sensible businessman, would you be investing in the oil industry? No. So they're doing the right thing. They're enriching their stockholders, which is what happens, hey, Joe, in a capitalist, not a communist operation. And maybe you could have let the Keystone pipeline run and there'd be more competition for energy. As usual, he takes credit for Trump's job gains. The net gains attributed to Biden's administration is less than half the rate of the Trump administration. Then he paraded out the old Democrat playbook of taxing billionaires. You know what? The irony is that most of the tax in the United States is paid by the upper 50% of the population, and that unfortunately includes all of the middle class, which most of us are in the United States. There are not enough billionaires to make a difference. And what about the fact that Trump's tax reduction fairly early in his 4-year office of the president was a period where those reduced taxes stimulated the economy dramatically. The only thing that foiled it was, of course, the COVID pandemic, and of course, the government and many governments' failure to understand the best way to deal with it. And clearly, whatever we did, it wasn't the best approach. The icing on the cake is this doddering 80-year-old loser with 50 years of wasting America's assets in DC is planning to run for president again. Even the majority of Democrats do not want this clown around. And as a bonus, if he does become the candidate again, he will pair again with Giggles Harris for VP. Oh, wow, what a wonderful ticket, folks. What an anti-American ticket that is. It's time for change in America. Time to call for balancing the budget, focusing on national defense first, last, and second. First, second, and third. Yeah, we'll make that work, folks. This is Dr. David D. Shine for Saving America. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe on your favorite platform.